Well, hello, Rick Springfield. It is nice to meet you.
Thank you.
I've spent a lot of time trying to figure out how I was going to introduce you because we're talking Grammy winner, TV shows, author, father. I mean, you have
Dog
just,
owner.
yeah, right? I mean, it's pretty incredible the career that you have had over the years. We're celebrating the 40th anniversary of Working Class Dog. What is it you're most proud of in your career?
My dog.
Same.
I just I don't know if proud is a word I could use. I look at it as a continual journey, and I've tried to stay connected, I guess is the best way, and yeah, that's all I can say. I don't really feel proud of anything. I think I'm happy that things worked out, but certain things worked out. But it's been a long journey. There's been a lot of ups and downs. But I'm still standing, as Elton says.
I have so many questions, and I apologize for my nerves. I feel because we're going to talk about your audiobook today. And we have some things in common, Rick, you and I. I mean, you work on Sirius as a DJ. I work as a DJ. You were in Smokey Joe's Cafe. I was in Smokey Joe's Cafe.
Oh, wow.
And you're reading your audiobook, your own book, and I am reading my sister's book, her audiobook. She wrote a book. It's getting published, and the publishers chose me to read it, which is really exciting. But I think I just don't know what I'm doing. So could you give me any audiobook tips?
Well, don't get drunk before you do it, because that doesn't work. I've tried that, and does not work. So just get into the characters and take a break when you feel like you're losing it. I narrated actually my 3 books, my autobiography, my first novel, Magnificent Vibration, and this one, which I recorded in my studio here. And it was really really fun to do. There's a lot of writers put a lot of themselves into the characters, and there's a lot of moments from my life I will put through it just for my reality's sake. And when you start reading it, those moments hit home, and I had to stop a couple of times to kind of pull myself together through the reading of the book. But it was really an exciting thing to do. I wrote some music for the start and the finish, and there's a couple of different voices through it, because it involves God speaking and aliens speaking, and a next nun, and the end of the world, and a pandemic. So there's a lot of stuff going on, but it's dark humor.
Yeah. So the World on Fire is the name of the book. Are there any outtakes that you'd be willing to send to us so we could play them? We love playing the outtakes of audiobooks.
Yeah, I have so many outtakes, so many, and
yeah, I wouldn't know where to start. There's just there's so many.
You ever sit there and you're trying to say a sentence and you're like, why did I write it like that?
Yeah, exactly. and I'll because I'm from Australia, I pronounce some words, just words we don't use often, that you use when you write, and I'll say them wrong. And you have a producer that helps you with that kind of stuff. Plus, there's I think there's 7 different languages in my book, because it's a whole story of these kids that are affected, that are born at this certain time, and one's in China, one's in Easter Island, one's Israel, one's Arab, and they speak a couple of lines that are the same line, but it's all in different languages about where they're headed. So I had to learn all these different pronunciations. It was that was the most difficult part, actually, trying to, because I wanted to get the pronunciation at least close to correct, so that someone who spoke Chinese wouldn't go. or spoke Hebrew, wouldn't go, oh, dude, really, or Arabic or whatever. I mean, it's I wanted to get close, so I found all these people who spoke the language, and they spoke it. They showed me how to say it phonetically. So I think I got close.
Was there any thought to having another celebrity do the book, or were you always wanting to do
No,
that part of
I
it?
was, yeah. I mean, I wanted to do it. It kind of wouldn't make sense if I'd done two before to have someone else read it. We just naturally assumed that I would read it.
Hmm.
Plus, I wouldn't want to put that on someone else learning 8 different languages. That would drive them out of their mind. It was difficult enough for me, and I wrote the damn thing.
One of the things that you've gotten to do is be on the TV show Supernatural, where you got to play Lucifer. I mean, how did that come about? And did you find that, because the Supernatural folks are a passionate group of people, as are your fans a passionate group of people, do you find that you made the two meld together and made new fans?
I don't know about that, actually. I know a lot of people have, I've met a lot of people that said I liked what you did on Supernatural, so I guess it was
Remarkable.
received pretty well. And they wanted me to do they had a recap of the whole, the whole years it's been on, and they had me on there to kind of talk about being Lucifer. So they're kind of the two, God or Lucifer. I mean, there as an actor, where else do you go after that? But it was really well written. I was very surprised how well written it was. And my manager said it was typecasting, but
No, I didn't know you were on it. And I came to the show very late. So I'm just watching one day as I'm binging through Netflix, and I went, and I texted my friend, I'm like, Rick Springfield is on Supernatural. We had a moment.
Yeah, it was fun. It was acting. I love acting. I got into it really in 1975 just because I didn't have a record deal. I wanted to make some money, which was actually fairly ludicrous because most of the actors in the acting class were waiting tables while they waited for an acting gig. But I actually did land some gigs and supported myself like through the 70s with my fairly bad acting. I was just learning, and I can see a lot of the old shows now, and I go, wow, dude, you suck.
No.
Rockford Files, Incredible Hulk, Wonder Woman twice, Battlestar Galactica, got the shit blown out of me on Battlestar Galactica, which was kind of disappointing.
But those were must-watch moments in television.
Sure.
I'm 52 years old, so when Working Class Hero came out in 1981, so I'm 12, 13 years old, and you're showing up on General Hospital, you're showing up on Battlestar Galactica. I mean, you were one of the biggest stars of that time. So while you may not like your performances, it worked. It really did. It was a lot of fun watching that.
Well, I got better I've gotten better through the years. I mean, certainly I can see. I watched my first. Someone played like my entrance to General Hospital the first day, and dude, I look so nervous. It's like I can see myself just shaking in my boots, but trying to smile through it. But it's. I was walking onto someone else's turf. I was a new kid in town, and it was very scary.
You can see that with Will Smith and his first episodes on The Fresh Prince. And if you look closely, you can see him mouthing the actor's words that he's doing a scene with.
That's funny.
Because he had to memorize their lines and his lines.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to ask you about Jessie's Girl, if I could, real quick. And I mean, you've shared the story before about, the impetus of the song, but I'm kind of curious, as you're working on that famous da-na-na-na-na, and that you've got that part of the song and you're trying to figure it all out and you have the idea for the song. Do you remember the moment you put Jessie's Girl either down on a piece of paper or you said it out loud? Was that an aha moment, or was it just a placeholder for a better idea, the actual title to Jessie's Girl?
Well, I actually still have the lyrics as I wrote the song. I keep all my lyrics. I always have, just for fun. I've got every song I've written actually as I wrote it. And
wow.
The original title was actually Randy's Girl. and you could see it, and I've crossed it out and written Jessie's Girl over. So I was into already writing into writing the lyrics, which generally comes second with me. I already had the riff and the structure of the song, and I was the guy's original real name was Gary, and I knew right away that that wasn't going to fly. So
Mhm.
I tried Randy, and after a while, it didn't feel right to me either. And I was actually at the time wearing there was a Rams LA Rams player named Ron Jessie. He's passed away now, but I picked his shirt up at a supermarket just because I liked the color. It was like a blue, the Rams, blue and
Mhm.
yellow, and it had his name on the back, but it was spelled Jessie, which is why I misspelled the name on the record. That's the feminine way. This male way spelled Jesse, but I misspelled it on the record because of the Ron Jessie T-shirt that I was wearing, and that's where I got the name from. Is I thought I wore this shirt around, and I thought, oh, maybe Jessie would work. The
Hmm.
same number of syllables, and
Mhm.
I still have that shirt. Actually, it's pretty funny. I have the Ron Jessie T-shirt.
Open a museum over there at your house, bro. I would like to ask you about performing with the Santa Monica High School Symphony Orchestra for the Orchestrating My Life.
Hmm.
I watched the trailer, and when you're riffing, and then the kid on the violin's like, "Yeah, back at you." What was that like?
They were real intelligent kids and great senses of humor, and especially the lead ones that knew they were kind of in the lead spot. Um, so it was really fun. I mean, there was a lot of surprising moments in the whole movie. There's one where a little girl gets up, and that was, all that stuff. You don't plan that; it just happened. And got up from the audience, like a little 5-year-old kid got up to sing. Um, so it was just one of those things that it just worked from start to finish when it could have been a giant train wreck because we only had one shot at it,
Mm.
and it was everything worked. It was amazing, and the kids were great, and the audience was amazing, and um, yeah, it was just very really fulfilling thing. It felt like a great party, like every gig should.
It looked like so much fun, just so much fun.
Yeah, really was.
Okay, so we have a fan question. We put this out as our Bella Insurance fan question, and this is from Emma Beantown on Instagram. Emma Beantown, and she says, and she's got like a big smiley face emoji. Would you go back to General Hospital if they asked?
I no, I mean no. I went back for the 50th anniversary because it was a very important part of my starting my career at General Hospital. It's just a tough gig. Soap operas, people don't realize how hard being on a soap is. First of all, it's hard for the writers. They got to write 60 pages a day. It's hard for the directors. They got to make sure they finish the show. It's hard for the actors because it's a talking head show. It's not, there's no action to fill the time.
Mm.
So you get some of them get like 30, 40 pages a day to read. And some of them are really, really good at it. I mean, my best friend actually is Doug Davidson, and he was on Young and the Restless. He was amazing. I mean, you felt he was right there. With me, it was all about line memorization, which is why it's hard for me to watch it,
Mm.
me on it, because I can see me kind of the lines going through my eyes like this. It was just tough when I started getting into nighttime shows and movies, and you got 6 weeks to film the show as opposed to one day or 8 hours. So you really get to work on the character, and that's why when acting started to become fun to me, once I get rid of the lines. And so it's a tough gig, and it's a lot of time. You're there all day, and there's other stuff I guess other stuff I'd rather do. I mean, if it was a special moment, like it was General Hospital was going off the air or something, and they wanted
Mm.
me to come back for that, I would for sure. Yeah, yeah. It's a very different business now, though.
Mhm.
Like the music business, like any business, it's just very different. It was a real lot of fun when I was on it. Everyone was in there with their egos and their friends, and it's so one of the actresses said was very eloquent about it. She said, "Yeah, we're as famous as the nighttime actors, but we still have to do our own grocery shopping."
Oh, I just want to say one quick thing, if I may. My sister Jessica, the one who wrote the book, used to sneak into my bedroom every night and steal my album cover and sleep with it.
Woo.
Just like this. So I'm just wondering, could you say hi, Jessica?
Hi, Jessica. I had fun sleeping with you, but
Oh, I just won Christmas.
I think that is the end of the interview. Rick, it was
Yep.
wonderful to meet you, and hopefully we will get music back out on the road and we will
Yes.
see you in Boston soon.
I hope so too.
Thanks so much, Rick.
Thanks, Rick.
Thanks, guys.